In a small town nestled deep within the misty mountains, a sinister vampire cult lurked in the shadows. They were notorious for their violent rituals and bloodthirsty cravings. Led by the malevolent vampire Count Mortem, the cult sought to spread chaos and darkness across the land. Amongst the cult members, there was one vampire who resisted the evil influence. His name was Gabriel, and he had chosen to fight against his own kind. Gabriel had seen the devastation caused by his fellow vampires and yearned for redemption. As the cult's activities escalated, Gabriel worked tirelessly to thwart their plans. He would gather information, sabotage their operations, and rescue innocent victims from their clutches. His dedication to protecting humanity often left him weakened and vulnerable, but he persisted nonetheless. One fateful night, Gabriel stumbled upon a young woman named Lily. She was kind-hearted and fiercely independent, unaware of the darkness that loomed over her town. Gabriel felt an inexplicable connection to her, sensing a purity within her soul that he had not encountered before. The cult had become aware of Gabriel's betrayal and sought to eliminate him. Count Mortem, recognizing Gabriel's attachment to Lily, devised a plan to use her as bait. The cult's malicious intentions were clear. They intended to turn her into one of their own, a vampire. Gabriel, weakened from his constant battles against the cult, realized that he had no choice but to intervene. He resolved to turn Lily into a vampire himself, knowing that he could protect her from the worst of her newfound existence. With a heavy heart, Gabriel approached Lily, explaining the dangerous path that lay before her. Lily, fearless and trusting, agreed to undergo the transformation. Gabriel sank his fangs into her delicate neck, releasing the venom that would bind them together for eternity. As Lily awoke, her senses heightened and her humanity slowly fading, Gabriel offered her guidance and protection. Together they navigated the treacherous world of vampirism, using their unique bond to resist the dark urges that consumed their kind. The cult, enraged by Gabriel's defiance, launched a relentless pursuit. But Gabriel and Lily had grown stronger in each other's presence, their love and determination fueling their fight against the darkness. With every encounter, they managed to outwit and overpower their adversaries, inching closer to liberating their town from the clutches of the cult. In a final showdown, Gabriel and Lily faced Count Mortem and his minions. The battle was fierce, but Gabriel's loyalty to his newfound love gave him strength he had never known. With a swift and decisive strike, Gabriel plunged his stake into the heart of Count Mortem, ending his reign of terror. As the cult dissolved without its leader, Gabriel and Lily emerged victorious. They had saved their town from the clutches of darkness, but at a great cost. Gabriel, having sacrificed his own strength to protect Lily, found himself weakened beyond repair. His final act of love had drained him of his immortal vitality. In their bittersweet victory, Gabriel and Lily embraced, knowing that their journey had come to an end. Gabriel's sacrifice had given Lily a chance at life, a chance to rebuild and find happiness. With that, Gabriel closed his eyes, his existence fading into the night. And so, the townspeople would forever remember the vampire who had defied his own kind and fought for their salvation. Gabriel's legacy lived on in the hearts of those he had protected, reminding them that even within the darkest corners, a glimmer of goodness can prevail.
Title: Tainted Innocence. Once upon a moonlit night, in a small town nestled among the shadows, lived a seemingly ordinary 15-year-old girl named Danica. Unbeknownst to her, a dark fate awaited her, for she had unknowingly become a creature of the night, a vampire. One evening, as the moon hung low in the sky, Danica felt an insatiable hunger welling up within her. Unable to resist, she succumbed to her newfound nature and, in a moment of gruesome horror, fed on the family cat. The sight of crimson staining her lips and hands sent shivers down her spine, but she remained oblivious to the true nature of her actions. As days turned into weeks, Danica's hunger grew stronger. Her innocent appearance masked her inner turmoil as she stealthily began to feed on local children under the cover of darkness. In her twisted mind, she believed she was merely satisfying her hunger, unaware of the consequences her actions would bring. Whispers of missing children and unexplained deaths spread throughout the town, igniting fear and suspicion among the townsfolk. Panic eventually united the community, and they resolved to put an end to the horror that plagued their once peaceful streets. Gathered in the town square, torches ablaze and fear in their eyes, the townsfolk prepared to confront the source of their nightmares. But just as they were about to take action, Danica's father stepped forward, his voice trembling with conviction. "My friends," he began, his voice carrying a mix of desperation and hope. "Before we condemn my daughter, let us remember the innocent child she once was. She is lost and in need of our help, not our judgment." The townsfolk hesitated, their anger momentarily quelled by his heartfelt plea. They saw the pain etched on the father's face, the love he still held for his daughter, and a glimmer of compassion stirred within their hearts. As tears streamed down his face, Danica's father painted a vivid picture of a loving daughter, once full of life and dreams. He reminded them of the countless memories they had shared and the potential she still possessed. His words resonated with their own memories of Danica, and slowly, their resolve began to waver. Just as a flicker of hope emerged, the twisted fate of the story took its hold. In a sudden betrayal of love, Danica turned on her father, sinking her fangs into his neck as the townsfolk watched in horror. The air was filled with a collective gasp, followed by screams of terror. Driven by fear and anger, the townsfolk resumed their pursuit of Danica, chasing her through the labyrinthine streets. But the darkness swallowed her, concealing her from their desperate grasp. As the night wore on, the town mourned the loss of their beloved father and the innocence that was forever tainted. They vowed to protect their community from the darkness that had consumed Danica, never forgetting the lessons learned from that fateful night. And so, the tale of tainted innocence would forever be etched into the memories of the town, a haunting reminder of the fragility of youth and the depths to which darkness can reach. Before we get into the final story, which will certainly spook the heck out of you, please do me a big favor and push that like button. Muhahaha.
The Blood Moon Festival was a highly anticipated event in the small town of Ravenwood. Every year, as the full moon bathed the sky in an eerie crimson hue, the townspeople would gather in the town square, adorned in elaborate costumes and masks. The air crackled with excitement and a sense of mystery, unaware of the dark secret that hid beneath the festivities. Unbeknownst to them, the festival served as a cover for a group of vampires who would descend upon the town, disguised as revelers, to indulge in their insatiable thirst for blood. Among the townspeople, Martin stood out as a kind-hearted and inquisitive young man. He had always been fascinated by the Blood Moon Festival, drawn to the stories of its ancient origins. As an aspiring journalist, Martin saw an opportunity to uncover the truth behind the festival and expose the hidden vampire horde. With his trusty camera and a determination that burned deep within him, he embarked on a quest to document the festival and expose the dark secret that threatened his town. Martin's investigation led him to the heart of the festival grounds, where the revelers danced and laughed, oblivious to the danger lurking in their midst. He discreetly captured moments of joy and celebration, but his keen eyes also caught glimpses of something sinister. Hidden behind the masks and smiles, he noticed subtle signs of the vampire's presence, a glint of fangs, a flash of crimson eyes. Martin knew he was onto something big. As the night progressed, Martin's attention was drawn to a particular group of revelers. They exuded an otherworldly charm and seemed to move with an air of grace that set them apart from the rest. Among them was Victor, a seductive and persuasive vampire who used his charm to lure unsuspecting victims. With his tall figure and striking features, he effortlessly commanded attention, drawing people into his web of deceit. Ilara, on the other hand, was a fierce and deadly vampire who excelled in combat. Her long, flowing hair and piercing blue eyes concealed the deadly predator within. With each step, she radiated an aura of danger, her senses attuned to any potential threats. Ilara relished in the hunt, reveling in the fear that pulsed through her victims as she closed in for the kill. And then there was Silas, a mysterious vampire with the ability to transform into a hawk. His jet-black hair and piercing green eyes held a hint of ancient wisdom. Silas possessed a unique connection to nature and had mastered the art of shape-shifting. He had honed his skills over the centuries, silently stalking the night sky as a vigilant predator, ready to strike at a moment's notice. As Martin continued to document the festival, his path intersected with that of Emily, a curious and adventurous young girl. Drawn to the festival's magical allure, she had wandered into the heart of danger, unaware of the lurking vampires. Silas, perched high on a rooftop, noticed Emily's innocence and vulnerability. In a moment of desperation, he descended upon her, sinking his fangs into her delicate neck. As Emily's life force drained away, a transformation began to take hold. But before Emily could fully comprehend her new existence, another character, Sarah, stepped out from the shadows. Sarah had been secretly hunting the vampires, seeking justice for her own tragic past. With a determined glint in her eyes, she plunged a wooden stake into Emily's heart, ending her short-lived vampiric life. Emily's lifeless body crumpled to the ground, a tragic casualty of a world she never asked to be a part of. The revelation of Emily's fate sent shockwaves through the festival grounds. Panic ensued as the townspeople realized the sinister truth behind the festival. Chaos erupted as they scattered in search of safety, their once joyous celebration now tainted by fear. Martin, overwhelmed by the unfolding events, felt a mix of guilt and determination. He had uncovered the vampire's secret, but at what cost? As dawn broke, the town of Ravenwood awoke to a scene of devastation. The once vibrant festival grounds now lay deserted and stained with blood. Martin, haunted by the loss of Emily and the horrors he had witnessed, discovered that the vampires had vanished, leaving only a trail of destruction in their wake. With a heavy heart, he realized that his quest for truth had come at a great cost, and the town would forever bear the scars of that fateful Blood Moon festival. In the days that followed, the townspeople struggled to come to terms with the events that had unfolded. Nightmares plagued their sleep, and the moon's crimson glow served as a constant reminder of the darkness that had befallen their once peaceful town. Some sought solace in faith, praying for protection against the lingering evil. Others, consumed by anger and grief, vowed to hunt down the vampires and exact revenge. As the townspeople grappled with their fear and anger, Martin became consumed by a newfound determination to expose the vampires and bring them to justice. He sought out Sarah, the vampire hunter who had ended Emily's tragic transformation, and together they formed an unlikely alliance. Sarah shared her knowledge of vampire lore and taught Martin the art of hunting the undead, preparing him for the ultimate battle that lay ahead. With each passing day, Martin delved deeper into the dark history of the Blood Moon Festival. He discovered ancient manuscripts and whispered legends that spoke of a powerful artifact known as the Moonstone, which held the key to the vampire's immortality. According to the legends, the Moonstone was said to be hidden deep within the heart of Ravenwood's ancient cemetery, guarded by the spirits of those who had fallen victim to the vampires throughout the ages. Driven by a newfound purpose, Martin and Sarah embarked on a treacherous journey into the depths of the cemetery. The moon cast an eerie glow on the gravestones, as if the spirits themselves were guiding their path. They navigated through crumbling mausoleums and overgrown tombstones, their hearts racing with a mix of anticipation and dread. Finally, they reached the heart of the cemetery, where an ancient oak tree stood tall, its branches reaching towards the heavens. Beneath the mighty oak, Martin and Sarah discovered a hidden chamber, its entrance concealed by a veil of ivy. As they stepped inside, their eyes fell upon the moonstone, its iridescent glow illuminating the dark chamber. It pulsed with an otherworldly energy, as if it held the secrets to life and death itself. Martin reached out to touch the stone, his fingers tingling with a power that he had never experienced before. He knew that the moonstone held the key to vanquishing the vampires once and for all. Armed with the moonstone, Martin and Sarah returned to the town square on the night of the next Blood Moon festival. The air was heavy with tension as the townspeople cautiously gathered, their hope mingling with the remnants of fear. Martin ascended the stage, his voice filled with determination as he addressed the crowd. He shared the truth behind the festival, unveiling the existence of the vampire horde that had plagued their town for centuries. The vampires, sensing their imminent exposure, emerged from the shadows, their eyes burning with fury. Victor, Ilara, and Silas stood before the crowd, their true forms revealed for all to see. But Martin, emboldened by the power of the moonstone, stood firm. He commanded the vampires to face justice, their reign of terror coming to an end. As the moon reached its apex in the night sky, Martin raised the moonstone high above his head. A blinding light erupted from the moonstone, illuminating the town square. The vampires shrieked in agony as they were consumed by its radiant energy. One by one, they crumbled to dust, their malevolent existence erased from the world. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause, their gratitude towards Martin and Sarah overwhelming. The town of Ravenwood was finally free from the dark shadow that had haunted it for far too long. In the aftermath of the battle, the Blood Moon Festival took on a new meaning for the townspeople. It became a celebration of their resilience and triumph over darkness, a reminder of the power of unity and the strength of the human spirit. Martin, forever changed by his experiences, continued to document the festival, now with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. And as the moon bathed the town square in its crimson glow each year, the people of Ravenwood would remember the night when heroes emerged from the shadows and brought an end to the reign of the vampires.